Sean here. DSP and Cyraxx are competing for biggest piece of trash on the planet. Darkside Bill, very recently, a user in KickChat, one of his loyal viewers, said, "I would donate to you, but things are financially tough right now." Without skipping a beat, totally serious, Darkside Bill tells this user that when things get financially tough, go out and get a real job. Fuck. And then you'd be able to come back and donate to me. Laughing. Making fun of him. The same guy who's 50 cents away from losing everything on stream as he's begging and pleading. Rather than going out and getting a real job, he's telling everyone else that their money belongs to him. He's essentially called it withholding money before. You guys are withholding money from me. What the fuck? And then you have Cyraxx, who is now 100% convinced that losing your job and going out and getting another job is so easy. It takes no work. That's because he's only ever done things like temporary or transient jobs. Probably with Ed supervising him, holding his hand, probably literally, because Cyraxx has a stepdad fetish. Sally maybe taking him along with her while she's doing something. You know, Chancy Poo, come on, get in the car. I don't want to go, Mom. I helped. The reality is that this little goblin doesn't understand that people work very hard just to get a job in general. Even fast food joints. Some of them don't have openings, and you're on a waiting list. Jobs this piece of shit probably looks down on. You get a job. Most of the time, you submit your application. You got to wait a couple weeks. Hopefully, you get the call to interview. Then, if you are lucky enough to be the person who qualifies, you got to wait a couple more weeks to find out. Then, when you finally start, it's 30 days before you get a paycheck. So, the months, 2 months, 3 months in between, you're struggling. But that's okay. Cyraxx thinks if you're a specialist, like IT or something, or you're a business owner, hey, you're good. Don't worry about it. The community's going to get you fired, but step up to the plate. Go get another job. Get a job you actually like doing. And of course he says, like me, I'm doing what I love. Making dozens of videos every week about the same thing, raging at the same two people, and being the most pathetic human being that's ever graced the face of this earth. And he's based his entire life plan around the generosity of others. Just to mention that you might want to help him, he has stated very recently, it may have been today, I can't even remember, everything's flowing together, that if you said you were going to help him, you need to step up and own it. I put myself in this situation and my head hurt. You don't know anything about the person that's saying they're going to help you. You're not even an acquaintance. You're maybe ships passing in the night from a far, far distance. And you expect that person to not worry about anyone else in their real life, to take the money that they have available and to give you a new PC. Thousands of dollars for toys. You expect them to just give it to you. Cyraxx. When you were in kindergarten, if another kid promised you they'd give you their pudding at lunch and you didn't get it, there'd be a little bit of an uproar, right? Moving on. As you got older, you realized the gesture of generosity is often out of etiquette. Typical social interactions, you know. I'd love to help you out. Well, there you go. That's all Cyraxx needs to hear. I'd love to help you out. But, and he wouldn't hear anything after I'd love to help you out. He's the kind of douchebag, I guess the general rule always is, anything after but, that's the truth. Anything before it, you can just ignore it. Because if you got to put a but in the middle, it just erases everything you just said. And you have to pay attention to everything that came after. You're a really nice guy, but I don't want to date you. Cyraxx would hear, you're a really nice guy, and she doesn't want to date me. She must want to get married, son of a bitch. The best chance that Cyraxx has, because we're going to get into this now, the best chance he has is Best Buddies. It's a program that takes adults with, I don't know if you can call them an adult, 40-year-old toddlers, with developmental disabilities and special needs, and here's the kicker, puts them in jobs that align with their talents and interests. Now, what talents does Cyraxx have? He's going to say singer, drifter, video game guy, rock god, celebrity, when none of those are true and none of those are talents. He doesn't have any interests other than being famous. So how are you going to use this legitimate program that takes people and puts them places where they might want to work, where they can fit in? It's not Make-A-Wish, but Cyraxx's entire life plan is on a Make-A-Wish jackpot. If Cyraxx is on Social Security, however you say it, I try to say it like the redneck I heard. Anyway, if he's on it, there's actually something, I think it's called Ticket to Work. It's a federal program, or it's a state program. Shit, I don't know. I just know what it is. It's to help people who are on Social Security to go back to work and earn an honest living doing what they love. No. To get back to work and earn money. His other best interest is state vocational rehab training. There's a whole big thing about disability employment, and there's a campaign to get people with disabilities into the workforce, being a contributing member of society. But I don't know what the regulations are. I didn't look it up. I just know it exists. I know that 40-year-old toddlers probably wouldn't thrive in that environment because he would not be able to go where he wanted. He would not even have the excitement of meeting new people, being in a new environment. When you're first out on your own, I don't know if you remember, maybe you're just now out on your own. Every new environment is an adventure. It can be overwhelming, a little scary even. We saw what happened when they tried to take him from his house with the sobbing and the pleading and the begging like the little bitch he is. And the rest of the things that are available are like apprenticeships. Yeah, that's not gonna fucking fly. The dude has the IQ of a dead ant. Right now, he would have the greatest opportunity because with this whole DEI insanity and the virtue signaling, Cyraxx, if he wasn't such a piece of human garbage, would be an amazing virtue signal. Look at this goblin we took in, and we found him a job. Unbelievable. I think those are called ability jobs. Lowercase a, if you want to look it up. I think it's called ability jobs. That would be another something that could help Cyraxx out. There are a lot of companies desperate to fill quotas, and Cyraxx would fill a quota. We have to have a certain number of disabled people, blind, deaf, whatever. There have to be accommodations and everything else, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking any of that. But Cyraxx would be one hell of a virtue signal. We took the biggest piece of shit on the planet, and we gave him a job licking envelopes. And he would, oh, gross, trench mouth, licking envelope. I just threw it in my mouth. Even if he went through a headhunter, job seekers, right? I don't know what you call them where you're at. I'll just call them job seekers. These are agencies that help you get your shit together, your resume and everything else, and they try to figure out what your talents and skills are, and they ask you where you know, like placement when you were leaving high school, job fair, whatever. Take Cyraxx to a job fair. What, they don't have a streamer place here? The point I'm trying to make is that I don't think it would be possible for him to even get a fucking job. I don't think you could put him anywhere where people would be safe. He would be safe. The only place I would like to see that son of a bitch is in prison or working as an intern around the inmates. Let him see Big Bubba, because he has a prison fetish. Let him see Big Bubba up close. Let's see how tough Cyraxx is. Put him in an environment that makes him incredibly uncomfortable for at least 2 months, maybe 3. Don't let him bitch out. He has to go, or there are consequences. That would be what would need to happen. You would have to force him, make him, throw him in there. Now, obviously, I was being a little over the top there. But you would have to force him, and it would have to be uncomfortable for him. He would have to go through something. He's never accomplished anything or overcame anything in his entire life. How pathetic is that? You've never struggled. Not really, because the struggles he's having aren't life struggles. These are struggles that he could choose not to have. He has no drive, no desire to better himself, and he'll always be a loser. Honestly, I don't know what he could do. The more I talk about this, even with all those special placement agencies, I don't know what he could do. I can't figure it out. I don't think he could work lettuce and work his way up to fries. I don't think any of that would be a possibility for him. Think about how sad that is. That is your life. That is your path. That is what's going to be your end game. It's the shittiest job imaginable, and he can't even do that. Well, let's say he managed to do that shitty job. Maybe he worked at a sewage treatment plant where he swept the floors. He'd be around shit just like he is. And I know I'm being a little toxic, but the rant where he demanded money and toys from people just set me off. And hearing him say, I worked for everything I got here. I worked for all this. Cyraxx. He could go out and seek support right now. He could go out and find different agencies, different groups that specialize in helping him, but he won't do it. He has a lot of special needs, and most workplaces will provide accommodations. So after going through all of that and reasoning it out in my head as I went along, everything I wanted to say just kind of went out the window because reality set in. There's nothing that anyone can do. He has no value. He'll never have any value. The state obviously knows he has no value. I have no doubt. He's a mischief maker, troublemaker. When they evaluate someone, they'll look at job history because they have to. So if you're a social worker and you want to find out about whoever your assignment is, you check job history. It's one of the first things you do. Where have you worked? Or where have they worked? Oh, nowhere. Self-employed. Well, what did they do? Oh, streamer? Wow, how much money did they bring in? $116 over a decade. And what Cyraxx is, he's the you've got your work cut out for you piece of trash. So anyway, I wanted to get a video out there. I just think that this guy, at this point, his crash out is going to be amazing. Halloween is going to be his peak. I have no doubt. He'll crash out a little bit between them, but Halloween is going to be his peak, where he's all about the ghouls and the hobgoblins and the ghosts. You know, where's all my freaks at? With his mask on. And then, you know, Christmas, it's got to be depressing as shit for him. He never gets anything. Unless some dipshit buddy troll decides they want to step up and do something very dumb. Give him money, give him any kind of toys. Not a good idea. I say it a lot. Just in case somebody finds this video. Do not do it. It's not a good idea. Trust me. Alright, I'm done rambling. I'll see you guys in the next one.